Hello Sentinels, and this is episode 37. And my question to you today is, do you believe in multitasking? And I've seen over the years different opinions on this, whether the science be right or not. And the science has changed as far as from an ADHD perspective. They told us for years and years and years that it didn't exist, which is I knew was bullshit because I still had ADHD when I got past the age of adolescence, and I was pretty certain I still had it. So I know that that can change. That's just part of science. Things move on. Facts change, or not facts change, but the knowledge of them changes. And I think that multitasking does exist, but there's the way that people understand it is wrong. So if you multitask, it is literally a task. So it's a physical thing that you do to get done, to get through your day. There is not such a thing as multi-focus. Now, for all you ladies out there, yes, I know that you're a lot better at splitting or thin slicing your focus very quickly onto different things because, or a parent, doesn't have to be a lady, it could be somebody that's looking after their kids. So let's put it that way. So if you are carrying out a mothering function of some description, and you've got something really important to do, whether it be teach your child or to make sure they don't get burnt or whatever, you will be able to focus in thin slices. That means you're still concentrating on one thing. Now, if you're talking about tasks, that's something completely different. Yes, you can multitask. If you can drive a car, you can multitask because they are physical things. At some point, once you've got all the confusion over with, you've got to the point where the stuff is almost a lot of the actions are habits, then it's easy. The actual mental functions that you use or the amount of brain power you use to drive a car, or like anything that you do, and this is why I've repeatedly kept saying people that if you've got ADHD, you should have a list of things that you want to do to make into habits that are basically your system for getting shit done for your life, then that's what I'm on about. So, and if you get to the point where they are habits, then it's just multitasking and not multi-focusing. The bit that we have a problem with is the multi-focusing, aside from the fact that we also have in general a problem with self-regulation. That really kills us. So the more that we're on the one side of multitasking and it being non-conscious, the better. But being chosen specifically, that means we've actually thought about it and made them our habits. And if they're bad habits, get rid of them. You can change them. It's easy enough to do. Go and look at BJ Fogg's stuff on habit making, or actually I'll drop a link in the notes to this one with a young gentleman that's also wrote a book about habits, where I also believe in what he's actually saying because it's based on science, which is basically similar to what I've been reading over the last sort of 15 years as well, so which is really good. And I can't remember his name, so I'm not going to butcher it. I'm just going to drop it in the link to this particular episode, and we'll go from there. So, is there multitasking? Yes, there is, but multitasking is not multi-focusing. And yes, women, and this are definitely better at multi-focusing, which is actually thin slicing their focus on one particular thing. So you think or focus serially. And that attention can be incredibly difficult to guide because we as human beings have something like 188 biases, and 188 biases, go read them, go read some of them. I mean, they're quite frightening, some of the things that we actually have as biases, which we use to create the reality that we have. And you can see that based on some of the latest neuroscience, where they've been actually trying to find out or record consciousness. Now, when you then do that, and you add the 188 biases that we have, then sometimes I wonder are we really thinking all that much? And my guess is we think a lot less than we actually think we do. Anyway, with that, a late one, but done for the evening, as always. Have a plan, be fun, foster wisdom wherever you see it, and may you have a good morning, good afternoon, or a good evening, depending on where you are. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.